Okay, so if you go back to ingredients, that's where we want, well, okay, wait a minute, we're on automake, right? So what do we want to do first to make the button work?
I don't know.
How did we make button one, two, and button three work?
Um, when Sprite is clicked,
That's it. Then what?
broadcast.
That's it. So you could call it automake. Is that what you want to call it? Or remake or mix, whatever you want to do. So
Mm-hmm.
now you have a new broadcast, and now we got to tell the commands. So yeah, why don't you just do a cleanup? You know, if you could right mouse click this cleanup, there you go.
Yeah.
Now we have some room we can work in. So when I receive what? Now that's broadcast
Oh.
because now you're on the fruit side. The There we go. So when you receive, what are you calling it? Remake. You want, first off, let's make this fruit size to be, because you might have grown it or shrunk it. So why don't we make it back to normal? So let's reset it to 25% in case it changed. So what we want the program to do that, because if you shrink it down to where you can't see it and then you click remake, then you want it to come back to the right size. So how would you do that in the command? What command do you need to set? There you go, looks. Okay, that's it. Okay, so then which costume do you want it to start with? Do you want it to start with any one type of um, fruit, or do you want it to have different fruit, or you want it to be random?
Random.
Okay, so how would you do that? What do you need? First, you need get the fruit. That's it. That's it. Okay, then how many costumes? Good. Good, you figured it out. So yeah, to pick random costumes, 1 to 5. So now what do you want to do? Any ideas? Do you want it to just put a row or a circle or just put them on the plate? Where do you want to put them all?
Plate. The plate.
Okay. So let's start with a simple spot. Why don't we start with the dead center, which would be 0, 0. So let's go to automatically starting. So what command do you need to make sure that it starts at 0, 0? Dead center of the screen. That's it. Okay. Right. So dead center of the screen is about the left side of the plate. So now what do we want to do? Shall we just do a stamp? In other words, we put one piece of fruit there. Good. And then you want to have it put another piece of fruit. Okay, yeah, good. You figured it out. So you know what to do. That's good. So how many times do you want to repeat the stamp? 15 times. Okay. But every time you stamp it, you're still stamping it at 0, 0. So what do you think you should do if you want
Uh,
it to move a little bit? Remember, 0, 0 is the center. That's where you're starting. Okay, try it. See what happens. If you notice, it's putting it always on the same. So click reset or
Oh, pace is
space.
getting. Yeah, reset. You make this random too.
Okay.
Probably make this like 50.
Okay, but think about it. You're inside. You're outside the loop before the loop starts. So it's working, but it's putting them pretty much in the same spot.
Yeah. And it's placing down 10, but in the same exact spot.
Yeah. So what would you do inside the loop?
I don't know.
Well, why don't we make the first one? You're on the right idea, but instead of pick random on the spot, we always want, let's always start, well, you could always keep those in there, the random spots, somewhere between 0 to 50 x and 0 to 50 y. That's okay. But inside the repeat loop, why don't we move or change the x and y direction slightly in the repeat loop? What would you do? That's it. There. Change x and change, yeah, okay, that's it. Now try it, see what happens.
Oh,
That's actually pretty nice. But now all I have to do is have the starting point be maybe a little bit lower and to the left slightly.
what do you mean?
Well, right now it starts basically, where does it start? It starts somewhere between 0 and 50x and 0 to 50y because you put random, which is okay. But maybe if you put it just a little bit lower, in other words, maybe minus 10. Okay. Minus y minus 50. I don't know. We'll try that. Okay, now try it. See what happens. There we go. So if you keep clicking auto make, it'll start reappearing in different spots. Now the only thing missing is that after you've stamped the last one, you probably want to go and put him back in the upper left-hand corner. So you need to go to, get a go to at the very end. So it'll always reappear at the very end at, what is it? What did we say? Minus 175 and minus 110? Excuse me, 110, yeah. Minus 175, 110. Because that's what, if you look at the reset one, that's what it does. It'll do a reset basically when it's done. So 175 or minus 175. That's okay, try it and you'll see what happens. There we go. Also, when he resets, you could always reset and change him to the original costume, like change him back to the watermelon, if you'd like. But this is your program. You can do whatever you like to it. Good. Now here's where you could be creative. Oh yeah, you didn't sign in. You won't be able to save it. Share screen. This is where I left off. So every time I add a piece of fruit, I could actually add another sound. Like I already have, there's dropping, well, snapping fingers is okay. I'm going to add that. So every time I go to sound, I'm going to play the sound when I add a piece of fruit. Make some room here. And I have, so now every time I drop a piece of fruit, you should hear. That's another thing you can do. Sound.
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't do the automate button on mine, but I'll just do it again. I'll go ahead and say automate. When doing here. I have automate when sprites clicked. Let's zoom in. I'm going to broadcast. Yeah, you added sound too. That's good. Make. And here I'll just make another pattern. When I receive automate, I want to do something. First, I want to make sure that he's the right size. Actually, I'll make me set the size different. I'll make set size so he's 10%. And then I'm going to have him grow. I'm going to repeat 10 times. And have him grow, change size by 10. I have to go to 5. Well, I could do that. It'll be really big. Maybe only change it 5. I need to stamp them out, right?
Yeah.
So what should I do? I'm going to pick random. Oh, pick random fruits. So I'm going to switch costumes to the random. We'll just say there's only 1 to 5. So instead of that, I'm going to choose pick randoms 1 to 5. And I'm going to rotate him a little bit so that way it doesn't always look like he's in the same direction. So I'll keep doing that rotate as he gets bigger. But I didn't place him anywhere. I've got to place him to start. I have to make sure he starts. Let me start him right about there. So that's 0, 0. So it'll be about 0 to about here. 0, 60, let's say. And then I want him to go from here, and I want to go down. So it'll change size as he goes down. Actually, I'm going to set him size. Let's set size big. Let's start big and go small. That way it doesn't look like it's going to look better. So I'm going to start him big at 50%. I'm going to change times 5 minus 4, let's say. And then he has to go down from here. So that's what? Plus x and minus y. So every time he turns a little bit, and then he moves another 10. No, not set x, that's the wrong one. I need to change x by 10. And then change y by. Now you could have been doing this, you could make your own one with another button. I'm just doing this the first time. So when I receive automake, let's see what happens. The first time I'll try this. Never done this before. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's cool. He kind of flies down, but I forgot to stamp him. So it's just appearing once. So what do I want to do here? I'm going to make sure I put the reset, so I need the stamp button. So I'm just going to duplicate that. At the end, he goes back where he starts. Stamp him. That's what I forgot to do. Reset. Reset's not working. My reset doesn't work. Let's reset. I got to do that too. Reset there. Oops. Reset. Always start in the correct direction. Do that too. So he starts off pointing on automake. So automake. Oh, there we go. Now it makes all kinds of different things. But it gets small, so I need to reset. We need that part of the reset too. Yeah. Just duplicate this. Same part of the reset. That's it. Now automake does that. It's starting a little bit too far up. It's starting with about 10. 60's okay. And then space them out a little bit more. So we need to change 10. Let's make that 15. Make that minus 15. Reset. Automate. Here we go. I have different sized fruit randomly being placed. So did you make another button or do anything else like that?
I just added something. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you show your mom and dad what you've been doing, and make sure you save. Oh, can you, if you can, maybe your mom and dad remember your password so you can save it
I
properly.
remember my because when it said changes may not be saved, I typed in the password, but then it says that I guess I had to define them before.
Well, yeah, I don't know what I don't know your login or password. Maybe you should write it down so that way you
I
and
just
your.
write down.
It is. So, have you logged in yet?
Yeah.
You want to share your screen again?
Let me do this really quick.
Okay.